This is Justin Case of American Newscape, joining our friend and media personality Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of American Mentoring. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back to American Newscape.
We are back alive, well, hyper, whole. Let's do this, man. Come on, let's get some stuff done.
Hey, yeah, we survived another week, and that being said, Jerry, this week we're talking...
I love Mondays, man.
I do too. This week we're talking about judgments. So, Jerry, what's happening with judgments? What do we need to know about judgments?
I always ask myself that same question every day when I look in the mirror. And judgment is your own self-perception. It's how you see yourself, because what I've learned and what I keep learning is how I see myself is how the world sees me. It's that law of attraction kind of thing that kind of kicks in after a while that people have to realize. And it'll help you get through life, because if you see a better you, and I'm always promoting that with my Facebook shows, you got to see that better you. You got to love that better you. It's all a part of you, because a better you can only attract more better yous. Does that make sense?
Nothing makes sense to me anymore, Jerry, particularly when you ask me.
I love teasing my buddy. But go ahead.
For everybody out there, Jerry said, "Does that make sense?" Because he knows it drives me crazier than I am. But
I love. Thank God you're a couple thousand miles away. I would get a coffee cup thrown at me right now.
All right.
Go ahead. I interrupted. Go ahead.
No. It's not that. Okay. Now, judgments, that face in the mirror. That's always something that I've always utilized to answer to myself. I use the face in the mirror to answer myself, and in doing that, I guess I'm judging myself to see where I am, and to make sure that I'm living up to the standard that I'm holding for myself, to try and to try and put something out there that people will be people will be receptive to.
And you nailed it. You nailed it perfectly. You articulated that perfectly. It's a self-analysis. If you're not happy with something, you can make the changes. If you keep questioning yourself, it doesn't feel right, you make the changes. Now, you hit that note perfectly, because a lot of people, and believe me, I'm guilty of this to the third power. I've been ignorant for many moons on, I can do it my way. No, meatball, you got to figure it out, and you got to listen to other people. You got to listen to what they're saying. You not necessarily in a bad way, constructive criticism, whatever it might help, and do your own self-analysis. And how you see yourself is what you bring to yourself. And when people realize, when they stop judging themselves and they start realize they're worthy for what they can have, they can have anything they desire. But it all starts within. It's that own inner self, that inner self of thinking, how you perceive life, how you perceive yourself, how you perceive your past. Whereas you and I use our past as wisdom, some people use their past and they dwell in it as hurt and pain, and they vocalize it every single day. And basically all they're doing is recreating that past every day by what they see in the mirror.
Well, yeah, and they shouldn't see that in the mirror. They shouldn't dwell on their, they really shouldn't dwell on their past, because there's not a lot we can change. We can change our behavior going forward.
Yes. And from changing that behavior, our character traits, in essence, we're attracting to ourselves what we really want. And this is the hardest thing for people to understand, because they don't see it. They don't understand the law of so-called karma and this and that in life, but you really do. You're on this hamster wheel. Every thought is a reflection of you. And other people see that. That's why I'm always open to the fact of what people say about me, because sometimes you don't realize what you're reflecting. You're in that conscious mode or subconscious mode of what you're thinking, acting, and being every day. And sometimes people see it a different way, and it could be a good point. You pointed out many good points. My viewers have pointed out many good points to me that I've implemented that only help me. It's when you get rid of the ignorant factor of who you are to who you want to become. So many things change in people's lives, so many things, but you have to understand, and what you see, always like you said, self-analysis, man, is amazing. You get into this analysis of self and you realize where you want to go, and you start building that worthiness and self-confidence and everything that you do every day.
Well, and we get back to the mirror. People will ask me,
Yeah.
well, what are you seeing in the mirror? And I tell them it's not what I'm seeing. What I'm doing is answering to myself. I'm answering to myself
Yes.
because if I can't answer to myself, I can't answer to others. I can't answer to loved ones. I can't answer to family members until I learn how to
Um,
answer to myself by living
yep.
up
It all starts with you.
to my behaviors and what I may have done wrong, what I may have done right. But it's that honest assessment. And I use that word too much, but as we learn to,
No, it's necessary. It's necessary to grow. Indeed. The analysis, we get into this analysis paralysis of what we're doing and thinking every day. You always got to be, overthinkers are awesome. I love overthinkers because if you're using it in a constructive way to better yourself, the world's going to respond. People, you don't lose when you try. It's when you stop trying and you become say, oh, this is my lot in life, and that's it. You got to be open to constructive criticism. You got to listen to people. Most importantly, listen to yourself. How do you feel the minute, like you said, you stand in front of that mirror? How do you feel? Some people just see the visual of themselves. I'm talking about look in your eyes, look in your soul, who you are, and implement that desire and that happiness and that trueness that you've always wanted to be every day. Life will not deny you. It can't. It can't, because you're giving the energy, the focus, the attention to everything you want, and life won't deny you nothing.
well, what a lot of people don't understand, and Jerry and I've never talked about this, but the other thing we do is we give ourselves that pep talk, that quick pep talk to go forward into the day.
Every day, every single morning, I'm either writing it, speaking it, thinking it. It's a constant. And most importantly, an area that we didn't touch on is your environment. Whatever you're surrounded with, you're going to become. You're going to naturally adapt to that. So make sure your environment, however it may be, is conducive to where you want to go. I used to do the old mirror technique. I put Post-it notes here and there until it became a habit, which is a great thing to live by. If you keep doing what you're doing, you've already done it. The majority of people have already, we've all done it, but we've created habits that are not what we want and what we want. It depends on what you choose, but if you keep focusing on that, whatever you want to move forward to, you cannot lose. You can't. And should be so reassuring to people with principles and conviction about themselves. It's getting past that broken mirror of how we used to be to where we want to go.
Well, that broken mirror, that's an interesting point too. And
Mm.
our assessment of that may not be realistic. Maybe we didn't do such harm to ourselves. Maybe we are in a position where we can overcome whatever we've done to ourselves previously.
Yes, and I'm living proof. You're living proof, and whatever bumps we had in the road, but it's that core belief. You're getting back to inside that mirror, man. That broken mirror is all the pieces of your life that you can't let go of, that you see every single day. It's when you look in the mirror as a whole piece, as a whole person. I mean, life can't deny conviction. And if like you and I know we're doing what we're doing because we love to do what we do. End of story, done. We just do it every day. And where it leads us, we don't know, but we know who we are. And when you know who you are, you can direct that energy to wherever you want to go.
A thing I've always said is I'm not sure where I'm going, but I know it'll
Hmm.
be a better place once I get there.
Thank you. And you've already answered your question. You've already answered. This is the beauty about this life, man. You've already answered your destiny because you know you're going somewhere better. And when people have that kind of conviction and fortitude in what they're doing in life, like you and I and millions of other people, we have that conviction every day. We got to modify it. We got to preach it. We got to affirm it. We got to become it. And when you become that, what you truly want, life is going to say, okay, here's some opportunities, here's some opportunities, here's some opportunities. It's just going to show you the way. You don't have to know a way. It's going to be shown to you.
Well, you'll find it. That path will be laid out. You will find your.
Because you'll be
You will
focused on
find.
it. Yeah,
You'll find your
yeah,
path.
you'll be focused on it. Yeah, you'll be focused on it. And I can attest to that in many, many things in my life, because I was only focusing on failure. that was Jerry's failure. And guess what happened? Compound failure after failure after failure. And I said, wait a minute, why don't I just turn the tables around, man? I stopped looking backwards and started looking forwards.
Right. Well, yeah, failure. We've done that. We don't need to do it again. You know, we've accomplished that.
We've touched the hot stove, man. We touched the hot stove. It's like, ow, I don't want to do that again. No.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I remember a loving parent telling me, how stupid could you be? Well, that question never got answered. We don't know yet.
No. You just got to keep, conviction is a powerful thing. It's, values and beliefs are powerful. And when you start grasping a hold of what you truly desire, what you truly want, what you truly want to become, I mean, all you're going to do is put out ideas and energy, and that's going to connect with other opportunities, ideas and energy. And it's a great way of using what you can't see to bring you what you want to see. And when people grasp that we are infinite, it's a hard thing for people to grasp, but we are just a big magnet, a big ball of energy. And whenever we send out every single day, and thought and feeling comes back to us as our state and being.
Right. And, let's remind everybody, we're not talking about judging others. We're talking about looking internally, judging ourselves.
Yes. Because how you judge yourself, you will judge others. And you bring up a great point. People, I got people at work. I mean, they're constantly criticizing everything and everything else. And I just sit back and listen, because I know that they're not criticizing me. They're looking at their own selves in the mirror. And if you really talk to these people, you'll understand where they came from and who they are. That's no excuse, mind you. And to the sensitive mind and the sensitive feeling person, it's just going to bring on hurt and pain. But when you understand that people are just projecting pain, you'll understand you can catch it or you can dodge it, or you can understand it. And this way you don't have to come to an assessment of somebody else, because you know who they are already. They're just a big ball of pain. They don't know how to handle it. They're sending it off and judging people and making these comments and statements. To me, I totally understand it now. And this way I don't get into that energy level per se.
Well, we have to feel for those people. They don't have a foundation of anything else. And that is
no excuse, but
no, that is the foundation that they've built for themselves. And they're apparently content to reside there.
There's the ignorance again, man. They don't realize, they think that the foundation that you mentioned, which is a great metaphor to live by, it's a permanent foundation. No, it can be rebuilt. I was one of them. I was the cynical sycophant. I didn't care about anything. I just made, and it was just my upbringing, which is most important. How you were raised is how you're probably being now. And I'm grateful to be the complete opposite of what I was to who I am right now, because I was that. I was that whole, I've had two scopes of the paradigm here, and I realized, wait, I can choose this way, like you said, or I can choose that way. And it's a great choice, and it's a great epiphany in life when you realize, I'm being a schmuck. Okay, let's not be a schmuck anymore. And start realizing I can be better.
Well, that's easy, but for some people, they don't realize that they can actually make that choice, and maybe that's our task. We're not telling them to change. We're trying to give them the hope that they can change if they want to.
Because when you change internally, your outside changes externally. In your physicality, your mentality, everything about you changes, but it's a conscious choice. We've all had our past. We swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. We really did. And it's the people that look in that mirror every day and make the evaluation, and most importantly, a decision to either follow that same path, because if it doesn't feel right, what are you following it for? But some people don't realize that. I get it. I've been there. And I can definitely relate to the other side of the coin. That's why it's so understanding to people when I understand what's going on in their life. You realize, I was there once, and you have compassion for other people. And this is the great thing: you don't judge people, you understand people.
Well, you make every effort to understand people.
Yeah,
and
what a world it would be.
Well, Jerry, do you have any tools you can give us so we can start making better assessments / judgments of ourselves and where we are?
Yeah, you can rewind what we just said and repeat it. You had the best assessment of looking at yourself in the mirror every day, and you compounded that thought of what you wanted to become every single day. That's basically it. It's repetition is a word that we didn't use. It's that constant repetition of self-assurance that you're going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, assume the mind is a muscle and put it in muscle memory.
Yeah. Yes, your thoughts do indeed become things, and you keep projecting that thought, add some words to it, little feeling to it. It's like making a cake, man. It's going to come out beautiful little by little by little. You just got to keep doing it the same way, consistently. You as a former athlete, you had to do things a certain way every day, consistently. Thinking is the same way. If you're thinking, if you're doing the same physical activity, you're going to grow that muscle. The same thinking activity is going to grow that idea. It's going to grow the opportunity. It's going to grow the energy. Most importantly, it's going to grow yourself.
Jerry, I think that's a great place to wrap this up, and I totally agree with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope people can grasp how malleable we are. It's a great thing. We were on the potter's wheel, man. We can go anywhere we want.
Well, and what I've always said, unlimited potential, both of us. Unlimited potential. There's nowhere but up. So
Indeed.
All right.
Indeed.
Everybody.
Indeed.
Hey, everybody, this has been Just In Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you American Mentoring. Thanks for joining us, and remember, additional information and links are provided in this video's read more. Today's the day to subscribe to this channel, and please take some time to check out Jerry Maldonado on social media.